Hello, everybody. I'm back. My voice is kind of back. I'm recovering, still a little raspy. I apologize for it, but I want to jump into this was a subscriber-based question. The short version was, what crypto do I think is going to 2 or 3x the fastest and the safest, right? Like a lot of things, I took that as a very loaded question. Thank you, JTP, for commenting again. And I'm going to break these into two different questions because the fastest and the safest, I see those as two different things. I could combo which ones do I think are the safest that will go the fastest, and that's kind of part two. So I'll do first which ones I think are going to go up the fastest. They all have a history of exploding 2 to 5 times, but usually with a fast retrace. We're talking micro caps, some utility, some memes. And then I'll go into ones that I think are the safest that will probably go up sooner than others and the rationale behind it, looking for that 2 to 3x. So on this channel, like if you guys have been here with me for a little while, I have no problems chasing those gems, looking for that 10x, 25x and beyond. But I'll take a 3 to 5 all day long. You make a lot of money that way. Find a 3x. If you put $1,000 in, you put in all in a one, you get a 3x, you get $3,000, right? You can then put 1,000 in 3 different crypto and get another 3 to 5x that way. And you can compound this and go up pretty high. I do a combination of that kind of stuff with hodling. And if you're looking at little safe numbers to try to get in with the volatility that is very likely going to happen very soon, not a bad method. So this is my opinion and way of answering the questions. Let's get into each of the breakdowns of the question and how I would look at it. So for this first one, I'm not going to pull up the charts. I will for the next part. So which crypto do I think will 2x or 3x the fastest? Or let me actually read the exact question. Would love to hear your 2 to 3x plays. I asked to clarify, blah, blah, blah. Looking for an honest option of what can 2x the safest. They like compound, AOs, and ASM. And what do I hold? Okay. So with the fastest part, we're talking micro caps. I do not think necessarily that the whole widespread narrative or genre of micro caps is happening next. I'll explain that shortly. But micro caps and memes do have this tendency of just booming, right? And then they usually retrace pretty hard afterwards. So there's a couple crypto I've noticed that tend to do that, but the timing for it gets a little iffy. You don't really know when it's going to pop up. Like ASM, Assemble AI, great for that. It's gone from about 2 cents to 7 cents 5 or 6 times in the last year, has retraced a little bit. So that one has already shown the pattern of booming straight up and coming straight down. Might be something that you're looking for. Other ones, Turbo. I was swing trading Turbo several times. It would bounce around the 0.03 cents to 0.07. And I would take that 2.5x a couple of times. Turbo has that happen a lot too. It's happening a little bit less because we're getting a lot more long-term holders for alt season, but it might be worth looking into, or other memes like that. When you see patterns on charts where it's like, oh, every month it goes up and then down again, this crypto shit. No, that looks like swing trading heaven, or leverage it if you know it's going to come, or confident, because we don't know anything in this space, right? I think Beam has a good chance to 2 to 3x pretty quickly. Again, it's done it a couple of times before. It's not on the largest exchanges yet, or at least it's not on Coinbase, which slows it down a little bit, but I think can also fly really well. And then HFT and PNG, Hashflow and Pangolin. These are both, DEX plays, decentralized exchanges. I like them both. I think they're both going to do well long term, but they also have the tendency of going up quite a bit and then coming straight back down. When I say straight back down, I mean within a couple of weeks. That's probably again going to happen less as alt season starts to really come through. But I guess those are a few examples I think could 2x pretty darn quickly. But look for your own patterns and ones that you like. Or if you've seen crypto that just go up and down, that's where you're looking for. if you're looking for a 2x quick. Now, if I was looking for a safer 2 to 3x, we can even call most of these, I'm going to go into 3 to 5x. And these are ones I think are going to hit next, sooner. And I want to tell you why. The short of this is look at your large caps, the top 100 crypto, so pretty much. And the reason why is a lot of us are familiar with the concept of the cycle of the cycler, the order of the bull run. Actually, let me show you real quick in case you're not familiar with this. So most of you have probably seen this before, right? Path to alt season. We start with Bitcoin, where Bitcoin's king. Almost all the money goes into there, and we see Bitcoin go first. We've certainly seen that happen. Not saying Bitcoin won't go up higher, but it's had at least one of possibly the only huge boost, right? Next is Ethereum, followed by large caps, and then we'll call it the small caps in alt season. So I think it's pretty inarguable that we're in the phase 2 with Ethereum, right? Ethereum has gone up, what, from about 1,700 up to almost 5,000. I think it was like 47, 4,800 in just a matter of like 2 weeks. We are very much in the Ethereum phase right now. And with this cycle, Ethereum phase could end up meaning like Solana and XRP also. We'll find out. We are very much in this phase where industrial, everything's gone into Bitcoin. Now industrial and retail is getting some Ethereum, and then things tend to go back down to larger caps. So that is what's going to be the next step. Because I really don't think Ethereum might have a 3x left in it. It's sitting around like $4,500 at the moment. But I don't see it doing any more than that. Realistically, I think it's going to hit around 8 grand. I think it's more of a 2x. So I want to get into some of the ones that I think are in that large cap phase that are going to hit first. And these are my thoughts, my opinions. Take it or leave it. Obviously not financial advice, but it's something for you to look into. So I got a couple of thoughts. I think I got 6 or 7 crypto that I think are going to, we'll call it 2 to 3, probably closer to 2 to 5x in the next like 4 to 8 weeks. And we'll end up seeing how this goes. But let me give you a couple of thoughts. If I was hopping into new positions, which I only plan on hopping new positions after I sell some crypto, but these are some of the ones I would very much look at. And I've even talked about a few of these. I'll let you know which ones I own because I own 1 or 2 of these. And the others are just good crypto. They're large caps. They got a strong foundation of both popularity and utility, money coming in. So let's pull up charts. We'll talk a little bit about each of them and fly through these guys. All right, the first one is Avalanche. If you guys have been with me for a little bit, you shouldn't be overly surprised. I talk about Avalanche a good fair bit for not owning it. It is it's one of my 3 favorite crypto that I do not own. It has massively been underperforming. And why I say underperforming is, well, one, it hasn't really had much of a boom. It had this Trump pump, which only got up to about $50. I say only because if you look back at the all-time, we're looking at getting much closer to 150. Right? And I have no reason to think it's not going to get there and beyond this cycle. Avalanche is a layer 1. If you want to be nerdy and call it a layer 0, whatever, fine, knock yourself out. But it has a lot of crypto projects built onto it. It's predominantly with gaming, and gaming hasn't really hit. I think AVAX is the most well-known sleeping giant. I would have said that about Ethereum a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I think I did. Well, you know, that thing exploded, but we knew it would, right? Avalanche is almost as high a conviction for me. We know that just during the Trump pump, it flew from $23 to $52. Where we got right now, guys, $24. When money starts coming in, maybe after the next rate cut, which I got a whole theory about that I might do a video on. But when the rate cut happens, this could trigger a lot of people saying, alt season. It could be a big boost. And we already had it once go from 20, we'll call it 25. I think it was 23, up to 50. I think this next jump is going to be at least as much. And Avalanche is a very safe one, ranked number 18. I like this for a pretty quick and safe 2 to 3 plus X. All right, next one. Here's one I don't think I've ever talked about on this channel, maybe during one of my tier videos. But again, we're going to see it's a larger cap. Okay, 2 billion. I put that in the larger cap category, number 52. Again, I would look at the top 100 if you're looking for what's going to probably be next to really boom. And there'll be smaller ones that come up randomly, but you're going to see much more of the top 100 double, triple, quadruple before you see much of anything else go. There will be outliers, so pick your bets the way that you want. But Say has had a huge drop. Again, its Trump pump got to 70 cents. Not like everything has to get back to the all-time recent high, but I'm pretty confident almost every damn one of them will, specifically in the top 200 or 300. So I am using it as a barometer. Got up to 70 cents. It plummeted all the way down to 14. I remember looking at Say, of course, and I'm like, oh, I wish I would have got into it. I DCA'd in other plays I'm confident in. And right now we're floating around 32 cents. And the next big pump, Say, is likely going to fly up at least to 2x. Very likely dance around that dollar mark, in my opinion. And it's going to happen pretty darn quick. Say also is kind of like the little stepsister of SUI, and it will piggyback every time SUI does well. So I think here's another strong option if you're looking for what I think are safer and very likely soon to jump up plays. Next one, let's bring out a Dino coin, right? Filecoin or Phil, F-I-L. So Filecoin has always done really well. It does have a little bit of competition now with, what was it, Walrus coming out from SUI. But it works with storage of data. It's important. It hit almost $200 last cycle. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's going to do it again. I think it's probably going to get closer to that 120 range, personal opinion. But gee, seriously, what are you going to scoff at that? How many times higher is that than the 250 we have right now? But if we look at how to do during the Trump pump, when people had money and they were throwing it in, it got up to about $8, so about 3.5x from now. And again, Filecoin is well known. It's not a sexy narrative. I don't hear too many people talk about it, but a lot of people are very familiar. This is probably if I have to say the least confident of the crypto I'm going to talk about today, it's probably this one, just because I don't know how much the competition is going to jump in, but it didn't seem to hold it back too much 6 months ago. So Filecoin, do your own research. I think it's a decent option to look into as well. Next is the only one on this list I actually own, is HBAR, Hedera. So I'm a huge HBAR fan, and I probably get the most flack for being an HBAR fan from other HBAR holders. I think it has maybe a 5x at most from it right now, which again, I don't think you should ever be upset at a 5x. I see getting to $1.25 or so. But I think HBAR is going to have a big move up to at least the 50 cents, all-time highs, pretty damn soon. Again, this one is in industry. It is the most versatile crypto out there. I would love to hear anything else close. Not what it can do, because, oh my God, everyone talks about this crypto can do this, it can do this, it can do this. Half a millisecond faster than that. Who cares? What is it doing? Hedera is in more narratives, more niches, more companies, more variety than any other crypto. It's all over the effing place. And it's being looked at as an American crypto. It's looking at being for CBDCs. It even has the possibility of getting into strategic reserves. Not as much as a few other crypto, but a decent chance. And yeah, I'm expecting this to next big bump. Usually bumps up to about 37 cents, dances around 40. I think the next bump, since there's a lot more liquidity coming in, a lot more excitement, I think it's going to bounce it right up to that 50-cent marker, maybe a little beyond pretty quickly. Now, if you're not familiar with HBAR, I think this is one of the safest it's going to go up plays. Of these, no one talks about this one. Let's look at Polygon. Polygon, a very old and stable layer 2 on Ethereum. Again, just to compare, because I've done this with all the others so far in this video, is how to do it there during the Trump pump. Pretty well, almost a 3x from where it is right now. And Polygon is, everyone knows this one. It is common, it is popular, it is used. There's a lot of money that comes into this one. There's a lot of projects that's built on it. And it might be, there's a possibility this might be one of the later large caps to go, still before alt season and the moderate to micro caps. Because a lot of people are like, I'm not sure about it. And you can tell it did really well. People that were in it before came back, rebought it, and it went back down. But Polygon has a lot of room to grow. People are going to buy what they're used to buying. You had a lot of people that were buying this thing last cycle around that 75 cents where it got during the Trump pump. That was the end of it, right? People are going to come back in, and I really think they're going to look and see, oh, this thing's only at 23, 25 cents. I think it's going to be seen as a good deal. If it does not move by the time I start selling some of my other crypto for profits, this one and Avalanche, and actually Beam, are up there on the high list of ones I'm going to go put money into to compound my profits into. So we got Polygon. All right. I'll give one more and then a quick honorable mention. So here I'm looking at Caspa. I give the Caspa community a hard time, mostly because it's filled with a bunch of maxis, just like XRP. And I feel when you have a lot of maxis in a crypto, people get very emotional and very blind. And I feel like Caspa is very much the same category. But if you look at it for, is it going to 2 to 3x soon? Yeah, I think it's got a good chance of doubling very quickly. And it's a very sporadic chart. I'm actually going to keep this in mind. I haven't looked at this much. I might go in more on the narrow sometime and look to see if there's some leverage and swing trade options here, because that's quite sporadic. But again, it's got a huge community. It's not going to go any lower, guys. I don't think we're going to see it go under really 8 cents again until maybe the bear market. But I do think it's going to blast back up to, I think it hit like 22. I feel like pretty sure I saw it hit 20. Maybe I'm wrong here. But it got up really close at the very least during the Trump pump. A lot of people still talk about Caspa. Expect a lot more people to talk about it very soon, because people are going to come out of the woodwork and talk about a lot of these crypto that we've all heard of before. But I think this is another strong option. I think it's safe. There's a strong community that will not sell this no matter fucking what for a long period of time. If you're looking for safety, that's something you do want to see. And then a quick honorable mention is Uniswap. All right. I was looking at it before. It's down pretty low. It is used a lot. It's real popular. Take a look at it on your own time. But those are my thoughts, guys. What do you think? What crypto do you think have the best chance of doubling, tripling, or whatever the soonest? Next 6 weeks or so. Tell me your thoughts down below. Sorry, this is a slightly longer video, I think. And, well, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you all. Peace.